What is up, flat earthers? Today is going to be a little bit more of a serious video today. I wanted to talk about my experience with the smaller commentary community and how it kind of drove my mentality that I had at the time that was terrible into an even worse mentality that spiraled into me hating everything and everyone and myself and just being terrible, and how over time I've learned to heal from that. But most importantly, I wanted to make this video to hope that someone who might be in the same situation, or at least in a similar situation, is able to pull themselves out of here. Because I know it's difficult, but I think it is something that they need to do. I've always felt like I was unseen. I've always felt like no one really cared about my existence and that I had very little value. I felt worthless. I felt disgusting. I felt like nothing about me ever really mattered, and it drove my every action. I felt so just controlled by this urge to feel like someone, and in general, concentration was just like that. I loved doing it, but it became a chore because it felt like something I needed to do. It felt like something I needed to do in order to have value in my life, because if I just couldn't do this one thing, then could I really do anything for anyone, and would anyone really care? And that's just not true. People cared about me. People loved me. And that's true for you too. People love you. People care about you. People want to see you wake up in the morning. And I know it's difficult to see that sometimes, but sometimes it's only difficult to see that because you have your eyes closed, and sometimes you need to open them. But not everyone has the ability to just open their eyes immediately. It takes a while. And that's exactly what happened to me. I was so unseen in life that when I did content creation, rather than feeling seen, I just felt unseen in my personal life and seen in my real life. In my virtual life, I felt seen on content creation, but it never fixed the void in my personal life. I still felt unseen, and it was just terrible. Overall, it was terrible. It didn't fix any of my problems. It just made them worse. And unfortunately, it was because I was looking at YouTube as the lens of something I had to do rather than something that was for me, something that I loved to do, which I did love to do it. It's just it took over as that. It became a chore. It became a job for me that I set up. No one else cared if I did it or not. I set it up because I felt so worthless. I hated myself so much that I felt that this was the only way that anyone could ever love me. And in that way, once I did it, I obviously needed to pick something that I felt like would give me the most attention, the most care, the most value, and I chose commentary because I felt like people would actually care about what I was saying because I did commentary. But obviously now I'm out of that, but I was a part of the smaller commentary community because of this, and it was toxic. It was terrible. It was one of the worst environments. I was in a Discord group chat with like 70 plus people, and like a good 3% of those people were actually good people that I would say were good people. Like, they were just straight up people that you would be like people that were pleasant to be around. And then I would say that the other 97% of people were some of the most rotten individuals you will ever meet. And they were like that because they were just like me. They were like that because they didn't have anything waiting for them on the other side. The content creation, I consume them. If you wear the mask, that's fine to wear the mask. It's fine to be a content creation, but just never let content creation wear you, because once it does, this is exactly how you will look like. And that's exactly what they looked like to me. They looked like to people who were once like me, but now they were a special kind version like me. They had a very specific liking of certain topics, and I'm just going to come out and say some of those people were just straight up predators. They were just straight up pedophiles. I know I was skipping past it, I didn't want to say it, but no, they were straight up pedophiles. A lot of people were just straight up pedophiles. In fact, it's a miracle I wasn't groomed. I'm just going to come out and say that. I guess technically I could have technically been groomed because some of those people did have some alt-right beliefs and they did push it onto me, but I never really became alt-right at all. I would never say I became red pill or anything like that, but I really, really, really do remember how bad it was. And, at the end of the day, looking back at it, it is what it is. Bad stuff happened to me. I just need to move on. But it was terrible. It was toxic. And I even made a video I made an expose video a long time ago, which I'm not exactly fully proud of. It's a video expose on me, myself, and like my eyes, like fucks me more exposed. And like looking back at the video, it's a little edgy in a couple ways where it's like, it's a little bad because even though looking back at it, it's like a video where it's like, yeah, it's clearly fake, but some of the stuff in this video, even though it's fake, it's still a little crazy to put in the video. And I'm not going to admit it, but like even making that video felt weird. At the time, it was kind of like a coping mechanism, to be honest, because, this was one of the worst periods of my life. I resented everyone because I felt mistreated in my personal life and in my virtual life. And as they merged, I lost all hope. I was just stuck, and I couldn't think of any way to escape. But I recognized that I wasn't stuck. I recognized that this was all my doing. And the thing is, the first step to pulling yourself out of anywhere is self-awareness. And the truth is that no matter who reached out to me, friends, family, a partner, they could never pull me out of the void. Now, obviously, I've dated one person. I'm a fucking bum. Nobody ever really, likes me romantically. And at the time, I didn't have a partner. But I reckon the same thing would have happened. I just had to bring that remark back because I know some people are going to be a little confused if they are watching this and they're from my personal life. But yeah, you know what I mean. I don't know what to say, really. I just say that I was able to pull myself back because I had the self-awareness to realize that I was in control. And over time, I realized that not everything here, was completely chaining me behind, and I was able to just escape. And I reckon that a lot of people who are watching this video, if you're able to relate to this, you should be able to do the same thing because you've already taken the first step to being able to leave a toxic environment, and that's to recognize you've already taken the self-awareness. Now, if you're someone who has friends and family and you want to reach out to them and you won't feel like a burden, then reach out to them. If you feel like you can, reach out to them, talk to them. Do not force yourself to lie. Do not force yourself to just act like nothing's happening. Acknowledge it. Tell other people. Because even though it may not make it disappear, it'll make it feel a lot lighter and it'll just be gone. After a while, it'll be nearly gone. At least it'll feel like it's gone, And yeah, that's how I pulled myself out of the video. I mean, fuck. That's how I pulled myself out of that situation. And I think many other people can do the same thing if you really, because you've already taken the first step by watching this video. You've already acknowledged this. You've already acknowledged you're in a toxic environment, and that's the first step to leaving. And now you can just slowly leave the environment and you're going to just feel so much better. You're going to feel so much better. Life is going to feel like there's something to live for, because I knew that I struggled to for a while after. But that video, like I said, it was a small coping mechanism type video I made, to be honest. I don't even think I told my cousin the reason I made that video, because me and my cousin made that video. And the thought behind it, because really, to be honest, I really made that video just to cope with how fucking terrible it was and how just horrendously bad it was. Even talking about this, I still feel sick because I don't say I hate the person. I won't lie and say that I hate the person I was during that time, because at the end of the day, I was a kid. I was just a child. I wasn't a 20-year-old in their basement or anything resenting everyone. I was just a kid. I was a kid, and that's the only way that I felt like I could be free. I hate that. And I hate that I feel rotten for even acknowledging that this happened and that this side of me happened. But if no one can pull you out of this, I know for sure that you can.